Hello and welcome to the TCL Podcast. Reevaluated because JV was too stupid to do it himself. So today it's me and Ray, or whatever your new nickname is.
Marvin, that's my name. Thank you. Um,
Yeah, me and Marvin.
we've been planning on this for very long. Well, not planning on it, but we've talked about it for a while.
Yep.
All right, I have some things written down, some questions I want to ask. But first, should we get to the season predictions?
Yeah, sure. So hold on. Should I pull up the teams on screen share?
No, I have it open.
All right, all right. I'll open it on for myself as well.
All right. I don't think anyone wants to sit here and listen to us predicting every single individual placement. So I think we should just do like the winners of stuff and then maybe like relegated teams or something.
Yeah, go on then.
All right. We'll start with the big one. Who do you think is actually going to win the league?
Hmm. I'd say I feel like it could. It's probably between Lions and Ultra Kill because Rogues probably are gonna lose some of their best players, and then they're probably gonna be swiped up by Lions and Ultra Kill. So I feel like it's gonna be between the two of them. But if I had to choose, I think it's gonna be Lions because of the big money signings they've been making so far. So
Yeah, that's a pretty good prediction. I think that could come true. That's one of my teams. I have the Lions. The other one, I have a bit of like a bit of an upset. I mean, they are equal in the table right now. I have CBFC. I think they're gonna pull through like a crazy upset season. I don't think Vagos has the history to do it. I think Rogues are gonna fall off. Ultra Kill. I don't really see this being a them season, so I do think it's between Lions and CBFC.
hmm, fair
All right.
enough.
What do you think?
Right, should we go to Div 2 then?
What?
Should we go to Div 2 then, or
Sure. In Div 2, we have like
I'll be honest, Div 2
we do have like a pretty
is
good title
pretty
fight.
unpredictable.
We have Paradise
I feel like it's
Palms,
probably.
FC Neto. Now go.
Mm. Fury United were in the playoffs, I think, last time. So I feel like, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if all three of the relegated teams just go straight back up.
Who are the three relegated teams?
Paradise Palms, AFC Neto, and I think Destiny. I'm not sure.
I think Paradise will
I
win
feel
it.
like Fury.
Yeah, same.
I feel like I feel like Paradise Palms will win the league. Fury will get second, and then uh I think probably Destiny or Neto are gonna win the playoffs.
I don't think Fury. I think they got lucky with the first few games. I don't think they're gonna pull through the entire season. If you look at their goal difference, they're at +8,
Mm.
where Paradise Palms are at +14. So I
Yeah, I
do
don't think they
think
have the defensive structure.
nah. I think PB will pull through. What do you think? Who do you think is gonna win the Champions League? Let me remind you of the Champions League clubs real quick. So in the Champions League this season,
We don't know who's in the Champions League
we
yet
do.
because that's only
We
at the end of the season. So,
no, for this season. This season,
well, this season
the Champions
is
League
in the
people
next
this
winner.
season is we have eh,
No, because
it,
it's not decided because it's only decided at the end of the season.
is it not top four for? Is it not top four from Div 1 and top four from Div 2?
Top four for last season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we
So
have
that was the UCL.
Rogues, Doritos,
No, that was the
CBFC, and
UCL
Lions.
for season 28. Because look, it's already done. It's already done. That was the UCL for season 28 because that's how it works. The UCL for the last season happens in the new winner.
Are we on season 28 now?
We're on season 29.
Okay, so first I've updated the server
So that's.
name. It still says 28.
Oh, yeah.
And oh, okay, wait. So at the end of the season, it's UCL.
First, we need to know who is going to be in top spots.
All right. Well, regardless, we can still
Like,
throw out a rough prediction.
I mean, to be honest, I could probably see CBFC going for a double UCL and then I just, we're seventh right now, so I think Luton might have some chances in the Europa League. Why are you
Yeah.
staying silent?
No, no. I'm just thinking. I don't quite like the self glaze. No, I'm thinking. Uh, so and you've gone for the Lions for the league, right?
Yeah. To be fair though, I feel like Vagos could make a pretty big statement this season. I don't see them winning the league, or I don't really see them going top four, but I feel like they could squeeze into the Europa League. I don't think they'll win it though. I feel like they could make a statement as like, be ready. You're gonna be a bigger club, and you're gonna fear us soon enough. I don't think that's this season. I do feel like they're not exactly gonna be in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah. No, I see that. I see that. I do think they're
But
gonna be like
to be honest,
seventh.
it's too soon to tell because after the four match days, when you think about it, the teams they've played, Lazy Lakers, which is a newly promoted team, East Ham, which is like a relegation club, Lemon Zest, which is like a mid-table team, and then Luton, who they drew, who I mean, Luton, I mean they're they're a pretty weak team. So I don't think they've had a real Division One test yet. They played Tommy Kingdom on match five, and then I think and then they've got Doritos and Lions, Brexit, Horrid. So I
Yeah.
think that's
GG.
going to be the true Division One test to see if they can hold up their strength against the more renowned teams in this division.
But you do think they're gonna be like top eight?
I feel like they could probably go eighth or ninth. I don't see them going any higher than eighth.
I see that. I see that. No, I agree with that. If we go back to the European competitions, I have Lions in my UCL. They do just dominate that competition. Who do you have for your Europa League?
I'm saying, to be honest, I feel like so many teams have that Europa League standard. Like, you've got Lamau, you've got Tesco, you've got Gorilla United as well, like making their statement. You've got Vagos who could potentially, sneak into that competition. And even like even teams like Brexit and Horrid and Mercedes, like they could probably make it up there with the level they're at. The Europa League is just you always know, like you can make a rough statement for what four teams will be in the Champions League because it's always pretty easy to predict. But five to eighth is always really hard to think of.
No, no, I see that. Yeah, because like they could spill into the top four. They could spill out of the top eight. So yeah, no, that makes sense. Also,
Yeah,
like Doritos, they're always a top six team, top five, whatever, and now they're in ninth.
they
But
they never actually played in the Europa League, so
I have, as you were talking about, it's really unpredictable who even plays there. I have Tesco and Ultra Kill. I think one of those two teams are gonna slip out of the top four. Tesco right now are a pretty like sixth, fifth best team.
yeah.
And I do think they can sweep that competition pretty easily against teams like Gorilla United.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like because there is always just five like really well pronounced teams, and then it's always just that fifth place team that always manages to win that competition. So I feel like it's just gonna depend on who's fifth, which is probably gonna be a team like Ultra Kill, because well not Ultra Kill, because I think like they might probably finish second, but teams that are like gonna start slowly dipping down in terms of quality, like
Doritos,
Doritos,
yeah.
Rogues, Tesco, like the giants that can't exactly compete in this Champions League anymore. I mean, I still do expect Doritos to maybe go fourth. I just don't really see them getting into that top three of the table.
Yeah, no, Doritos, they are very much struggling after their managerless.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I know they still haven't owned. Without a manager, there really isn't hasn't been any transfer business moving the club along.
no, yeah, it's quite hard. If you don't have a manager, you can't really move forward. That's kind of what we're seeing with Team KJ as well. They're being like relegated. Not relegated, but like they're 0 points in 4 games with -10 goal difference. They used to be like a pretty good team, developing a bunch of talents, and now they're managerless at the bottom of the table.
Speaking of relegation, I feel like John Wick, that their escape from relegation last season was amazing. I just don't see them replicating that this season. I feel like they're probably going to finish dead last.
Neither. I think they're gonna go either second last or completely last. But looking at how badly Team KJ are playing right now, I think one of those two. And then who do you think for the third relegated team? Because that's a really close one.
I feel like it's probably going to be Team KJ 20th, John Wick 19th, and then East Ham 18th. Because LA are known for like late escapes, and I feel like they still have the power to probably make it out. Because I mean, looking at who they've played, if I can find it here, Pacific team. They've played Lions, Brexit, Horrid, and Rogues. So they really have had a really hard fixtures, and they're playing Lamau, Tesco, and CBFC in the next 3 games. So it's obviously like they're the matchups they've been getting are obviously not crediting what they are as a team, because the teams that they're playing against are just so much better than them.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think that like if you're
I feel
playing
like
against a
one
bad
thing.
team and then like you could have a good run in the start, kind of like what we're seeing with Vegas, but if you're playing against bad teams, then at some point the good teams are going to come in and take your run away.
But I think after that, like massive like gap of big teams, they are playing teams like Team KJ, John Wick, Mercedes, Lazy Lake, because those East Ham, those are points that they can get, which could probably help them stay up.
Yeah, those points they're going to be really crucial. It is just whoever wins the game between those four teams, KJ, John Wick, East Ham, and LA. Whoever gets the most points out of those four is really tight down there with the relegation battle.
Yeah, I feel like those 4 teams are of an equal level of badness that any one of them could go down at any point. We are
Yeah,
probably in for a very tight relegation race.
we are. It's gonna be really interesting. I have a bit of a sight back to the past for you, of some I believe they're all retired. Of a start bench sell if you wanna go for that.
Yeah, go on then.
All right, start bench sell. Matt, Tails, and Grindstone.
That is that is a difficult one.
It is. It is.
I feel like Tails, no offense to him, he was a great player, has probably one of the most undeserved Ballon d'Ors of all time, because he only got like a goal more than Smiley in that season 9 when they won the treble, and Smiley was just like so much more of a headline name. So I feel like Tails only got that Ballon d'Or because of the loyalty bonus.
Yeah.
So I mean, Matt was just like generational at his time, but I feel like he started to dip a lot after leaving Tesco. I mean, he had some good stints, but I don't think his career had the longevity to, be that like headline. I'd
And what about
probably
Grindstone?
start, I'd probably start Grindstone, bench Matt, and then sell Tails.
Grindstone is like a really like not underground but like underappreciated.
Yeah, it feels like he never really got the big name that he deserved.
Grindstone is like the
I
Tony
mean, he
Cruz of
played for
TCL.
he played for Brexit. He played for Tesco. I think he had a stint at Lions. Apart from that, I mean, he was mostly like one of those players who never really got to do his own. He kind of just had to play amongst the team and be that guy who just got the assists and just got the contributions and never really was able to make a headline for himself. I mean, he did win the Ballon d'Or, but to be honest, it was only because of how badly the attackers were doing in that season that the midfielders basically dominated the bracket.
Yeah, I mean he is really underrated.
I feel
So
like we should discuss the Customs Cup fixtures because I've just loaded them up. Um, Lions play Tilted Madrid in the round of 32. I feel like that one's probably obvious.
can you send it in the Customs Cup channel? The fixtures.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
it's
of course, of
29.
course.
Alright, let me find it.
Yeah, season 29. I'll send the fixtures. It's not. I'll send it in general because it's not the results. But yeah, I feel like Lions and Tilted, it really just isn't a conversation. Lions always draw teams in the Customs Cup that they can really embarrass. Like a couple seasons ago, that 12-0 against Barcelona, which is still the highest
You need to save the
goal.
fixtures. They're not saved on that.
It's on the chat. Uh, Luton play Brexit. That's a really close one. Now I know those are our teams, but I
Should
feel
we
like we're
predict?
gonna have to.
Should we predict every game?
We should predict like the most important ones, like with the most like with the biggest names in the league right now.
All right, let's start Lions versus Tilted Madrid. That's pretty obvious.
4-0, 5-0 to Lions.
Yeah, I mean Tilted Madrid
I mean,
were like a top 7 team a few seasons ago.
Luton and Brexit. I mean, they're both pretty like mid-table teams, so
Well, it's
that could
quite
go either
obvious what we're
way.
both gonna say. So. But whoever goes
I
through
mean,
that,
like completely like avoiding the self ownership bias. I feel like Brexit could probably edge out on penalties.
I mean, whoever goes through that doesn't really matter because we're gonna lose the Lions either way.
Fair enough. Gorilla Lazy Lake is not really doesn't really matter. Jump shot destiny. Let's go play Slupu. I think
Tesco
we all know how
Slupu is
that's gonna go.
a absolute swipe between Tesco and then Lamau
I
play
mean,
Fury. But who's gonna win between those two? Tesco and Lamau.
Fury are probably one of like the bigger names in Division 2 right now, but Lamau, despite losing Chi, who's like probably their best attacker right now, I feel like they still have that mid-table level that will defeat any Div 2 team.
Yeah.
John Wick play Vagos.
No, but do you think Lamau's gonna beat Tesco? That's the question.
Well,
That
that's
is a big one.
complicated because Tesco is one of those like named. Tesco's like one of those like silent giants. They're still really good. You just never hear about them anymore.
Tesco's always there.
But so is Lamau. They're both those like teams that you don't actually hear anybody talk about anymore, but they're still like really good. So I feel like it'll probably go penalties and then one of the two. I feel like probably Tesco will get the edge just because they have so much. They're so much better defensively. Like they have some of the best defensive players in the league right now.
Yeah, Tesco will edge it probably. But they're always lurking, so you never know what's gonna happen. That's always like it's a 50-50 game. It's a coin toss. We also have Rogues versus Doritos. That's a big one.
Oh yeah, Rogues and Doritos. That's like first and second of last season. That one's probably gonna. To be honest, I don't know because Customs Cup only starts in what's it, like 6 match days. So that's 6 days for clubs to still sell and buy players. So I mean, Rogues, they have that striker, they have Duke, and he is very clearly, going to be sold because he's just too good for the level of Rogues. So I feel like if he's sold before this match, Doritos will win. But if he's not, I feel like they could probably win.
But you also need to think about the fact that Doritos are a playing team themselves. They don't have a manager, so they're doing it like as a team by themselves.
Well, yeah, but I feel like Rogues really relies on its attack, and if they lose a really big attacking player, they could probably fall apart.
Yeah, no, they probably will. And then we also have probably the last important game of these. Well, important for me at least. Rumble Rooms against Open Center FC, my absolute biggest rivals.
Those teams have not been heard. Rumble Ruins has not been heard of since season 1.
They got 5th. Outplacing Doritos.
Yeah, they have. I feel like, I don't really know enough about either of the teams because they're pretty boring teams. So I feel like the majority of this is just going to be Div 1 teams going. Some Div 2 teams, like maybe Paradise Palms will beat Mercedes, or maybe, yeah, no, I feel like that's the only Division 2 team that has a chance of getting through. Apart from that, it's probably just going to be the bigger teams and Division 1 teams are in mid-table. I don't think any Division 2 teams have a chance here.
All right, I have some like diverse questions. I have 5 of them. So what do you think of both divisions? What is the worst team in the league right now of both divisions? So it's gonna be in Div 2 probably.
Right now, it's only been 4 matches, so it's too soon to tell. I feel like just because Team KJ have done absolutely nothing, and I just don't see them really
Remember, Div
getting
2 exists
out
as
of that.
well. KJ would smash
I
like
know.
half of the Div 2 teams.
I know that's the thing. The quality gap between Div 1 and Div 2 is so immensely big because of just how many team owners don't want to own in Div 2. So the gap between Div 1 and Div 2 is just absolutely massive, which is a really big issue. It's not as big as like the Premier League where all three teams go down and all three teams go up. I feel like there is some kind of like diversity. Like a new owner comes in, rebuilds a Div 2 team, and then they can probably stay. That's what happened to Ultra Kill. That's what's happening to Vagos. That's what's probably going to happen to Fury if Cashin actually gets active. There were shouts about AFC Neto doing it. Never worked out. But I feel like Div 2 teams do have that potential. They have that power.
They
I feel
do,
like
they do.
worst Div 2 team, definitely Barcelona. They've done absolutely nothing so far. They've got a draw, and that's about it. Burger Fries he was there. I don't think he coaches them anymore, but he took them to the playoffs once. They didn't win, but he took them to the playoffs. They were in the final. It just didn't work out.
I think Barcelona have been up and down, but like throughout everything, Risky Reels has been so bad. It's crazy.
It feels like in Div 2, there's always just like 5 or 6 teams like bouncing around that 20th spot.
Yeah, Barcelona, Risky Reels, Jump Shot, Open Center. But one you really have to think about is Sycamore, because they were really big like 7 seasons ago. They won the cup and all that.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
The fall off was crazy, bro.
They no, the reason was they had so many stuff. Like the majority of those 90 plus defenders and attackers you'll see nowadays came from Sycamore. Clayton came from no, not Clayton. Bobbert came from Sycamore. Parham came from Sycamore. Ocho came from Sycamore. Uh,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like
kind of sad.
a lot of those like a lot of those like big names came from Sycamore because they had because their owner was inactive and they all had like expiring contracts. They all went for basically free. I'm pretty sure Bobbert was bought from Lions. Like it costed him 1 coin. It was a really embarrassing transfer, but I think that's more insulting than a free. I can't lie.
Alright, I got a few questions left. Um, what do you think is a really niche one? What do you think is the most iconic sponsor?
To be honest, if I had to rank them all, like if I just go into the league sponsors and rank them all, I mean, these are the league sponsors, so there's a lot more different sponsors that were on shirts, but of the league sponsors, I feel like Whizburger just never really broke into the scene. Same with Produce House. The two of them never really did anything mainstream. Uh, Dope Pizza, they kind of just were really like prominent, but then I mean they still sponsor a lot of big teams. Just individually, they haven't done anything.
Dope Pizza. Where do you put them?
I probably say Produce House and Whizburger tie last. Then Dope Pizza goes fourth, Bliss third, and then Vermilion and Black and White probably tie first because of the stuff they used to do charity matches and they're probably just the two biggest sponsors. If we really just like got them back and running, I feel like they could probably do a lot more.
Do you think, what would you say to the idea of bringing back the charity matches?
I mean, yeah, I would. I'm pretty sure A's has the winners for them, so I feel like if I could talk to him about it, I wouldn't be mad about bringing them back. It would just depend on the squads, because, I mean, basically the whole squads from the charity matches have retired. So
Alright. I got, what are your future plans for the server and the league overall?
well, to be honest, I've always wanted to do Division 3. I wanted to expand, but just with like the issues with Division 2, it really's never been able to work. I've wanted to just like make international a little bit more important, make it matter a little bit more, because right now it's just kind of like, oh, there's no more matches. I guess I'll watch the World Cup or whatever.
Yeah. No, honestly, in the start, I was
Oh yeah,
really pro Div 3, but right now I'm heavily anti Div 3 because I feel like it ruins the server that, like, all the unknown teams come in. If,
yeah, like my issue with Div 3 is that when it started, Division 2 owners and some even Division 1 owners came in just to make a Div 3 team so they can just make a Div 3 team, and then that left teams that we needed owned unowned. And then as well, just the issue was that we were too small to do another division when the other one wasn't even full. So I feel like when we tried to do it, we just didn't have the capacity for it, and it was a bad idea to try and do it too early.
And then a Chi-Town fella named Knicks came around. All right, the last question. We have who's winning the Club World Cup, Chelsea or PSG?
I think that doesn't even need an answer.
What's your prediction?
I feel like it's obviously PSG, and they're probably gonna win like 3-0.
Interesting. Personally, I'm saying Chelsea 2-1.
I feel like anything can happen.
All right,
What I will
it,
say
guys.
about the Knicks incident.
What
I will say about the Knicks incident is since you mentioned it, what I will say about the Knicks incident, I can't lie. I feel like it's given us a chance to like redo the season 1 of TCL in a kind of way. Like the small community is kind of managed to rebuild in a way. So I feel like the Knicks incident wasn't as bad as it initially was. Of course, it wasn't great to lose so many members, but I feel like it gave us a chance to finally, rerun TCL in a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was there for the start of it, and then I got banned, so... yes, very much thank you for everybody participating and watching this 26, now 27-minute video of me and Fabian yapping for 27 minutes. Do you have anything to say before we close?
Cheeseburger.